Greetings everyone. The topic for today is related to account writing. But before initiating our lesson, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe it to get more updates related to the lessons which I'll be uploading. So moving with the account writing, definition first, and we should know what the account writing is about. Account writing is an essential skill that serves various purposes across multiple contexts, from personal diaries to professional reports. In this post, we will delve into the definition, the use cases, including real life examples, and the format and structure typically associated with this form of writing. So, account writing is a meticulous method of recording events, experiences, or transactions, focusing on delivering information that is factual, based on facts, detailed, and organized chronologically. So, it is not just about noting down what happened, but providing a reliable description that captures the essence and facts of the event or transaction. So, what is the purpose for this? It serves as a comprehensive record that stands as a testament to accuracy and unbiased reporting. And what is the purpose and the use cases? Account writing is particularly beneficial for O-level and A-level students and anyone seeking structured information that can be used for study, work, or personal reflection. The key goal is to guide readers through a clear account of events, encouraging meticulous documentation and record-keeping practices. So there are uses of account writing. It can be in personal diary entry, it can be financial record, essential for tracking business or personal income and expenditures, ensuring financial accountability and planning. Historical documentation, an account of events in history, which records in a factual manner, helps preserve the past for future generations. And professional report, critical or for detailing the sequence of events in workplace incidents, providing an objective analysis and facilitating organizational learning. So there may be no subject line on any account or may not. It would be the same to start with the date written on the top. Accounts have to direct the reader as to exactly what happened and how. Contrary to the reports, what, where, and when must be answered in the first paragraph, followed by the incident clarification. The tone of an account depends on to whom the account is written. If the question clearly states that the account should be written to a headmaster or an inspector, police officer, then it is pretty obvious that the tone should be formal, polite, and respectful. An account may have personal sensations. The candidate may therefore choose the emotive language and sensational words and phrases as far as those assist in providing relevant information to the recipient. The candidate is free to give his opinion about the event. He may provide suggestions to certain matters even if she isn't asked to. The sentences can be varied in the style and structure conforming to the details and information is provided. So now we are moving towards the format of account writing. So this is the format that first you should mention the heading, the introduction, body with the three paragraphs, and the last topic is the conclusion in the account writing. So for introduction section, state the purpose of your writing, why you are writing this report, and do not go into extra details. Keep your introduction brief and relevant. So for the body, three content points should be present. You recently participated in competition with the other local schools. So this will be the question, that you have recently participated in a competition with other local schools where you presented your school, you are pleased with the results of the competition, and the principal has asked you to write an account of this competition and your achievements. So you are supposed to write this account and you must include the following points. So when and where did the competition take place? one bullet point. The second one is how you prepared for the competition and what were your achievements. So over here, in the first bullet, when and where should be answered, and in the next bullet, how you prepared for the competition and what were your achievements. These 2 points must be covered. And the last bullet point is related your feelings, your sentiments, emotions, that your feelings when the result was announced, how you felt at that time or at that moment, it should also be covered in the body. So how you can just segregate it, that in the first bullet point where you want to answer, you can mention the answer in the first paragraph. The second bullet point can be answered in the second paragraph of the body, and the third bullet point can be answered in the third paragraph of the body section. So state your responses with to the principal, keep your tone accurate and informative, and do not forget to add a suitable conclusion at the end. For the conclusion, what are the things should be mentioned in that paragraph? Restate the purpose. And you can use synonyms, you can use different phrases, but you are restating the same thing. So restate the purpose and end it with written by, then your name or signature and the date can be mentioned at the end. Here are a few tips for account writing. Use transition words to create a link that is moreover, furthermore, similarly, likewise, other than that, etc. So you can use all these transitional words in your writing in order to connect the ideas or in order to join these sentences. So focus on the description of the events, which is very important. Prevent giving options useless unless it is asked. So just be focused on the description of the events. Don't involve or don't mention the opinions which are not required to be mentioned. So read the question carefully. Try to address all the points that are required. And the fourth point is prevent giving lengthy narratives. Stay to the point and give to the point information. Observe the word limit. Don't try to write more, don't try to exceed that limit, and don't try to write under length as well. So now we have the format, how to write it. Over here the date is mentioned, to whom you're writing it is mentioned, the address to whom you're writing from, your name and your address should be mentioned. Then we have introduction paragraph, we have three body paragraph, and we have in the last the conclusion paragraph. So in the format, keep it in mind, you can either mention the date at the top or in the end after writing yours sincerely, mention your name, mention your signature, and then you can mention the date. Starting with the date, you should know that you should first mention the date, and then you should mention the month, and then mention the year. So both of these formats are accepted and you can just select any one out of it. So moving ahead with the date and to whom you're writing, if you're writing to your principal, mention the date and mention the address, write your name and mention your address. Then start the introductory paragraph in this way as it is written, that back in September 1944 I was enrolled into, mention the name of the school into its own L2D or lower secondary second form, and it almost felt in the terms of the emotional environment like the day I was born. So I was enrolled into it with 30 other boys, almost ready to experience something entirely, completely different. Mention the name of the school, that the school happened to be located in, mention the place, a Caribbean island, and this was all also my home country for all my life. To add on like this sort of the transitional word, you can add as something else as well. Happened to be in the Central America, to the right of the Americas, own Mexico amongst the most popular countries, as well as the NA's very own third biggest. So moving ahead with the body's first paragraph, you can mention it, the rhetorical question like this, or you can just omit it. It is not needed, and you are not compelled to mention any rhetorical question. So why I enrolled? Maybe this question was asked in the bullet, so you can just answer it simply, or you can mention it in the form of rhetorical question. So it was because my mother wanted me to, and she could not have been happier for me, as she had just achieved something that was incredibly unexpected and exceeded the expectations of everyone at our village. It happened to the extent that all the mothers of the village, with a hope for me being successful, cheered me on, told me to accomplish great things at school, said that learning would make me a better man, and otherwise simply wished me good luck on my way to school. Their motivation was very much required and provided me with some optimism. Moving ahead with the second paragraph of your body, you can see that it is started in this way. If one were to ask me how I felt during all of this, it means this is the answer for the second bullet. I would probably have said that I was very happy, nervous, tense, and stressed, sure, but I was also extremely glad. So there are mixed emotions which have been expressed or illustrated. Proud of myself, happy with my mother's pride for my enrollment, and ready to conquer whatever awaited me. If I did bad enough, I would be a sanitary inspector, and if worse, a bookkeeper or on the sugar plantations, but doing well would have allowed me to become a civil servant, which had been my dream since childhood. To achieve that dream would have filled me with joy, and that made me more than prepared for Cornbury School, any other school you can mention the name. But what of my mother? Again, the rhetorical question. She was indeed very happy for me, as I pointed out before, and was prepared as to what she would put it in my bag: books, puzzles, compasses, biscuit tin, a fish sandwich, and lemonade. She wanted me to learn all that could be learned, study all that could be studied, and be the best, most well groomed by the entire world. And yet she did not want me to become a or to be a civil servant. So you are just expressing the notion. Rather than letting me achieve my dreams, she would have rather preferred me to become a doctor, the safer, more accepted job in the firm. Then you can mention whatever your choices are. So here I am now, a student in secondary school, writing to you an account regarding my experiences. This is the conclusion paragraph. Getting prepared for secondary school to make my mother proud. My mother's instance resulted in me getting enrolled into the secondary school, with me being very tense and excited, and my mother being happy. She wanted me to become a doctor, to be a doctor, whereas I wanted to be a civil servant. I have learned that sometimes experience do not go the way you want it to go. So it is advised that the principal impresses me greatly with this school, so that I do not wish to leave, and I hope that everything in this above account is extremely helpful to the addressee to further their cause for the better education. I hope you have enjoyed this lesson. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe it to get more updates related to IELTS, PT, English grammar, in creative writings, or English language lessons. Thank you.